A coterminal angle is an angle that has the same initial and terminal side. So this angle, 70 degrees, would be a coterminal angle to the angle that goes all the way around and comes back and ends at the same spot. So I could say that 70 degrees and 70 plus 1 complete rotation would be coterminal angles. So 70 degrees and 330 degrees would be coterminal. They both start at the same place and they both end at the same place. Another coterminal angle would be the one that starts here and goes the other direction. So it would be the one that is 70 subtract 360, which is negative 290. It goes all the way around past 180, past 270, and to 290. So we can see that to find a coterminal angle, I can either add one rotation or subtract one rotation. There are lots of ways, and there's an infinite number of coterminal angles. We typically talk about the ones that happen between 0 and 360. Let's think about this angle. This is the angle 3 pi over 4, because 4 pi over 4 would be right here. So 3 pi over 4 is this angle right here. If I want to find a coterminal angle, I can find the one that goes all the way around and ends back at the same spot. So it goes all the way around and ends back here. Or I could find the one that goes the other direction. So I'm going to find the first one where it's 3 pi over 4 and I add one complete rotation. On this one complete rotation was 360 degrees because the angle was measured in degrees. But this time, if I add a complete rotation, I want to add it in terms of radians. So one complete rotation in radians is 2 pi. So then I'm going to add 3 pi over 4 plus 2 pi. So I'm going to get a common denominator of 4. So that's 8 pi over 4. So a coterminal angle would be 11 pi over 4. I could also find the negative one if I wanted to. So 3 pi over 4 and 11 pi over 4 would be the same. If I wanted to find the negative one, I would subtract 2 pi. I'm going to do 3 more examples. You're welcome to stop the video and move on if you want, but if you feel like you need more examples, I'll do one. So here, I'm going to think about what 13 pi over 6 looks like. I know that one complete rotation would be 12 pi over 6 because that's 2 pi. So 13 pi over 6 kind of looks like this, where it goes around and comes back up. So I'm going to find the coterminal angle that starts here and just goes to right there. So in this case, I'm going to subtract 2 pi. And so if I'm going to subtract the fractions, I need a common denominator. So this has to become a 6, and that's a 12. So in this case, the coterminal angle would be pi over 6. If I did this one, I could find the coterminal by either adding a rotation or subtracting a rotation. I could do either one. I think I will subtract this time. I'm going to find the negative angle. Pi over 3 looks like this. I'm going to find the one that goes the other direction. So I'm going to subtract 2 pi. So pi over 3, subtract 2 pi. I need to get a common denominator. So this becomes a 6. So it would be negative 5 pi over 3. The last one, I'm going to just find the first one. A negative 2 pi over 3 is going to be something that goes something like this because it's negative. So I think I'll find the one that goes like this. I'm going to find the positive one. So I'm going to have negative 2 pi over 3, and I'm going to add 2 pi. I want to get a common denominator of over 3. So that becomes 6 pi over 3. So my answer would be 4 pi over 3.